Fort Lee, Mayor Mark here. I'm at the Fort Lee Dispatch Center. It's our communication center. It's the heart of our emergency services.
911, where's your emergency?
Now, this week is National Telecommunicators Week. It's just a way of honoring all the men and women that serve all the emergency service agencies to make sure that these 911 calls get to where they need to be so that all calls are answered quickly, responsively, to make sure that we preserve your safety and your health. Now, Fort Lee boasts its own communication center. Most towns go elsewhere. They farm it out.
1605 Lemoyne Avenue.
Here in Fort Lee, we have our own center. Why? To make sure that we have an efficient response time, to make sure that we serve the public as best we possibly can.
As EMS providers in the borough of Fort Lee, we rely on dispatchers in everything that they do. They're considered part of the EMS emergency medical services chain. They're the first link in that, and when somebody is calling for help, oftentimes they're in the worst crisis of their life. They are relying upon the dispatchers to provide them with medical care, with calmness, with patience, and with direction on what they need to do. And they are truly unheralded individuals in the emergency services chain.
So you're about to meet some of our dispatchers, some of the women and men that make this all possible. Courtney, thank you very much for doing what you do. This is the week that we need to make sure that you know that you're appreciated. So thank you very much for doing what you do.
Thank you.
And I got to tell you, those are the coolest sneakers I think I've ever seen.
So over here we have all our in-progress calls for service that are going on at this point. On this side we have our closed calls and the units that are available for the different type of services, whether it's police, fire, ambulance, OEM.
Gary, thank you for keeping everybody organized.
Appreciate it, Mr. Mayor.
Daniel, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Daniel's one of our many dispatchers here at the Fort Lee Communication Center. I tell you this, Fort Lee, with all sincerity, without folks like Daniel, without Courtney and Gary and all the others that aren't on duty at the moment, we're unable to respond as effectively as we do in Fort Lee. So we're very proud of you, Dan.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
We want to thank all the dispatchers, the men and women that work, not only the ones that are behind me, but the ones that are off today, the ones that work midnights, which is one of the hardest shifts to work.
You've heard me say this many times. When you dial 911 in Fort Lee, something very special takes place. And that starts right here in our communication center, thanks in large part to the men and women that are behind me. So if you know one, thank them. It's National Telecommunicators Week. We're very proud of them here in Fort Lee.